Hi, this is Pat Danneberg, and I just want to talk to you a few seconds about your annual planning meeting and what you can be doing as a Cub Scout pack for an entire year. Now, this is just as applicable as a Boy Scout troop for your philosophy on how you plan out and budget for a year. But let's say you sit down in a room and you talk to all your parents and you want to figure out what activities you want to do. You don't tell them that any activities can be excluded. You don't give any reasons for why not doing something. You just take all the ideas, you write them down on a piece of paper like this, and you include everybody's thoughts. And then what you do is you turn around through the meeting, you decide to hand out little sticky notes to everyone. These are little post-it tabs. And you go around and hand each family 3 of them. And you say, go up there and mark the top 3 things that you want to do the most. And what you wind up doing is identifying a list of all the activities in a whole year that the pack can do. And you take those top favorite choices and you write them down on a piece of paper. And you come over and you do a whole nother separate paper. And in that, you sit down and say, all right, guys, what do you think these cost? And you write down a cost next to each one. The aircraft carrier is $70, okay? We know day camp's got some set amount at $60. But then you have to start guessing on some other things. The fishing camp, all right, well, all the parents are gonna cost this much, the kids are gonna cost this much, we're gonna pay for this amount of people. The campground's free, but the food's gonna cost so you figure out these costs. Put down a cost next to each activity. And these are the activities the parents want to do. Then you turn around and you add them up. You get a grand total cost, okay? Now let's play it safe, and let's put in a little buffer here, okay? And this is a 10% buffer, okay? And let's play that safe. So 10%, in order to figure that out, you take $242, which is the total cost of all of these activities, and it adds up to $242, and then you turn around and multiply it by 1.1, and it gives you $266, okay? So that gives you a little bit of a buffer for how much it would cost for one kid to do scouting in a whole year. Okay, now you take that $266. We're going to move it over to the side over here. And we're going to say, all right, you got 40 kids in this particular unit. You're going to take 266 times 40, and you get $10,000. Okay, now let's turn around and say, all right, let's do some fundraising in the year. We want to make sure all these boys do all these activities and are paid for through the fundraising, that no parent has to pay for any of this out of pocket. So in order to do that, let's say that you're going to get a third of anything you do back as a profit. So that means if something is $3 that you sell, you're getting $1 back to the pack. Well, if that's the case, then you want to take that total amount and divide it by 0.33, okay? Now that number comes out to be $32,000 roughly. Well, if you remember, we have 40 kids in that pack. And if we do 40 kids, then you want to take the 32,000 and divide it by 40 boys again, okay? And what that's going to tell you is that you need $806 per boy through fundraising. So whether it be popcorn, camp cards, the garage sale, you name it, whatever it is, all combined, this unit would need $806 per boy to come in if you're talking about an average cost of 1/3% going back to the pack through fundraising. So $806. It's a pretty simple number, but when you start looking at it, here's that entire formula. But this whole concept is how you plan out a budget for a year and how a Cub Scout pack can operate and how much money you need to plan for in fundraising to make sure your program can be offered to your boys free of charge. Have a great day in scouting.